Welcome to Popcorn to Go, a podcast by the Popcorn in Bed sisters. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Carly, and we're here as your below average movie experts to talk about some things movies, pop culture, all things life, daily thoughts, and more.
So grab your popcorn and come hang out with us.
Okay, we're back. Episode 3.
Episode 3. We're doing hard things.
I still feel like this is fake.
Yeah. But in today's episode, we thought it would be fun to do a little report about what's going on, some of our favorite things happening right now, and, just life stuff. So report stands for reading, but we're going to do reading/watching. E is for eating. P is for pop culture. O is for obsessing. R, recommending. And T, treating. Okay.
All of our favorite things.
Oh, first, I feel like we need to do a...
the results?
The results of our two truths and a lie.
Yes, we left you hanging if you listened to our last episode, about our two truths and a lie. So should we recap what our 3 things were? Okay, do you remember yours, Cass?
No.
Okay, I remember yours. I'll tell you. Okay, so mine were, I was almost deported. I have broken 2 bones, and I used to teach high school. And Cassie's were that a cop broke her finger. She swallows every piece of gum she's ever put in her mouth, and her husband was her first kiss. You see that poker face there? You have no idea. Okay. And if you're listening to this podcast, you couldn't see, but if you're on YouTube or something, then you could see my poker face, and it was good. All right. I can go first.
Okay.
My lie was, drumroll, that I've broken 2 bones. I've never broken a bone. I did pull some ligaments in my ankle one time, but honestly, that is my biggest injury I've ever had, which I feel very grateful for because I play a lot of sports.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I've never broken any bones.
That's pretty good.
I was almost deported, not because I did anything wrong, just because I'm Canadian and visa stuff is crazy hard to get.
Yep.
But it did work out for me. And
Those
what was
Canadians.
I know, for real. Yeah. And what was my other lie? I mean, my truth? Oh, yeah. I used to teach high school.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. I used to be a teacher. So the good old days.
I mean, you're technically still a teacher. You just don't work in that profession. But, once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yeah. Once a teacher, always a teacher. So true.
But you do coach high school volleyball. So that kind of counts too.
Mm-hmm.
You're coaching them and teaching them in life.
Yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of parts about teaching that I miss. And so I do feel like coaching kind of fills that void a little bit. So
yes,
really grateful for that.
Okay, so my lie was my husband was not my first kiss. I feel like that is an assumption maybe people have had, but that is not. Carly, why don't you set the over? I'm not going to say the number, but why don't you set the over under? Then people have to guess.
Of
betting
how many
odds.
people you've kissed?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say a number.
Under? Like
right,
what
and
do
it's
you
either
think?
over under.
Yeah.
Like 30.
Okay.
What? I don't know if that's... Okay.
Okay. So I guess...
over under 30, I guess you guys got to...
Over under 30. Mm-hmm.
I have no... and it's funny because I don't know what your reaction means. I don't know if I said a way too high number or way too low.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so going back to my truths, a cop did break my finger. He slammed my... It's a long story, but my car window didn't roll down, so I had to open the door, and then I was like gonna... I don't know why my hand was up there, but then he slammed the door like the Hulk, and my finger was in it, and it broke immediately and swelled up. And anyways, he followed me to the Instacare, made sure I was okay, did not get a ticket. So, and also
one way to get out of it.
On April Fool's Day. So when I kept telling people the story, no one believed me. They thought, I'm like, a cop broke it. Like, what?
I didn't know that part. That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, I had to wear it was a middle finger brace for like a month. So,
good times,
what was the
good
other?
times.
Here.
That you...
Oh, I swallow. Yeah.
Oh
Literally.
my gosh.
Swallow every piece of gum. Go through a pack a day.
My biggest pet peeves about you
Yeah.
Because when I get a piece of gum out of my gum packet, you always
Yeah.
ask for one, and I
Yeah.
never want to give it to you because I literally know within a minute it'll be gone.
Mhm. I'm like,
And
oops, sorry,
you're like,
swallowed it.
no,
Can I have
it'll
another?
be fine. And then literally, yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
no, I swallowed it.
It's my body it's like a reflex. Like I can't really help it. It's just like there's like a piece of food in my mouth, like a candy. And my body's just like, swallow that, please. Okay. Anyways, it's weird. Anyways,
Really
moving
weird.
on. Report.
I was gonna try to sing the like respect song with Report, but I just couldn't get it in time.
R.E.P.O.R.T.
I know you need one more.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I tried.
Okay. So
Okay.
R, reading/watching.
Yes.
I know Carly's. Why don't you tell the people?
Okay. I changed it a little bit
Okay.
because so my watching is white collar, which I'm going to talk about a lot because I'm really obsessed. But my reading, if I were to stick with that, would be I actually like read a ton of books in a really short period of time. So then I kind of got like a little booked out. So then I did switch to a TV show. But the last 2 books I read, I was on a trip and I read the last 2 of like Abby. Oh, I'm scared I'm going to say her last name wrong. So I'm sorry, Abby.
Like Jimenez?
Yeah. And it was Yours Truly and Just for the Summer. And I was so obsessed with those books. And it's interesting because like the second one, Yours Truly, I could not put it down. Like I was on a trip, but all I wanted to do was go read my book. And then the last one, like Just for the Summer, I feel like that book undid me. Like it kind of destroyed me, but also I loved it. But because it was like destroying me, I couldn't read it as quickly. And so anyways,
I've
I don't really
heard
know what
her
that says
books
about me. But
described
yeah.
as like chick flick with some like meat on the bones. Like
Yes.
they're like love stories and chick flicky, but they're definitely also some like harder topics are tackled and stuff like that. So
yes. And yeah, anyways, there's just a lot of things where I'm like, why is this book so hard, like hurting my heart and so hard for me to read? But also I'm like, I'm obsessed with it. So
yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
I like her like banter and stuff between characters.
Yes.
I'm all about the chick flick.
She does write a good
I'm not
love story.
currently reading anything right now, so let's go to watching. I am watching, I just finished both series actually, Discovery of Witches, which was newly on Netflix. And I actually really loved the first and most of the second season. I kind of got bored of it in the third season. I think you watched it a couple years ago too.
I warned you of that too. I like still had to finish because I am who I am, but yeah, I get that.
So this is like, obviously, we're not talking about channel watching. This is like free time watching. And in the past, because I watch movies and TV for the channel, I haven't watched a ton on my own time, but I have figured out that I do want something that I don't want it to be very deep necessarily. I want to just watch something that's fun for me and probably not a lot of people even like. Anyway, so Discovery of Witches, it's kind of fun and fall-esque, like it had witches and vampires. And it's also like Twilight, but more spicy, I would say. More grown up. And I also just watched The Diplomat and there's only season 1. I think there's only 8 episodes and season 2 is coming out soon, actually.
Oh,
and
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. It's with, I just call her Felicity. Carrie Russell. Yeah. Did you ever watch Felicity? Like the 90s. She had like the most beautiful, wild, crazy curly hair. Anyways, and I would say this is like Madame Secretary, but spicy.
Yes, so, I agree with that. And all things I loved. I loved Madame Secretary. And I like The Diplomat, but it was like, I can't think of the right word, like harder almost. Like just a little more like, ugh. Like,
well,
I don't know.
In like Madam Secretary, like their marriage is like the most beautiful thing in the world. Like
the
it's
most beautiful thing.
What every couple should have goals of. And then this marriage is definitely like, holy crap, what do I think about this?
And I'm like, I can't decide if I'm rooting for you guys or not. Like
same. And I think it is a toxic trait that like I'm like, well, I think we could forgive him. Like, I don't know. It's the bad guy from A Knight's Tale.
Yes. And the bad guy in The Holiday. Bad guy.
That's right. What's his name?
Jasper.
Jasper
Bloom.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I did just put out a thing on my Patreon of like the favorite fall adjacent watches and movies, which I'm compiling a list. I'll share it, but I kind of love seasonal watches, like Gilmore Girls on in the background, and
Yeah, I get that.
When Harry Met Sally. I don't know. Okay.
Okay,
So,
moving on.
White collar.
That'll pop up a couple times, okay? Really obsessed.
Just 20 years late. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wait,
10.
you're spoiling my
Okay,
other
sorry.
letters. Okay, eating.
Okay, you go first.
If you are new here, you don't know, but now you do, that I love Skinny Pop. I truly think it's the best popcorn out there. Like, I know people are obsessed with movie theater popcorn, and I don't love movie theater popcorn. I love Skinny Pop, and I bring Tupperware. Maybe I should admit to this. Just wherever I go, I bring a Tupperware of Skinny Pop because that's what I love the most. And I just feel like it's like perfectly olive oiled, buttered, salted, whatever. And I just love it.
And you sometimes add dark chocolate chips for a little treat, a little extra.
Yeah. And like lately I've just really been into Skinny Pop. I feel like every day I'm like, oh, when am I going to have my bowl of Skinny Pop? And I do dabble with the dark chocolate chips. Just depends on the day, how I'm feeling, yeah.
Well, it's very on the nose and very on brand for you to be eating popcorn right now.
Popcorn after bed.
My parents are visiting. Our parents are visiting from Canada, and they always bring just a junk load of Canadian treats. And so,
let me guess. The ketchup Cheetos.
Okay, but those are actually gross. I know it in my heart, but they're just, I keep eating them. But you know what I'm just super into is O. Henry's right now, which my 6-year-old self would just kick my butt because I was like, ew, O. Henry's. I'd give those to my dad. Like, there's so many peanuts. Yes. But, I think my evolved palate just really
do a good O. Henry chocolate bar. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it's a chocolate bar.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Snickers, I would say, is close to it.
I feel like it's like a nut roll meets a Snickers.
Yeah. Yeah. Heavy on the nuts.
Yeah.
It's a soundbite for this podcast.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's great. That's a great one. Okay. Pop culture.
Culture.
This is not my forte always, so Cass, I'm gonna let you lead us out on this one.
Okay, so real quick, we're just going to go through a couple, like, how do we feel about Jen and Ben had announced their divorce, and
sad.
But did you see that they were seen cuddling, like canoodling with her kids or his kids at breakfast, again, after post-divorce? Thoughts?
Interesting. My first thought is like, well, if they were married, they probably both got she probably got to, even if they're his kids, she probably got attached to them. So maybe that's nice that she can still be there for them.
Yes.
And my second thought is, oh, be careful, because I feel like it would probably they were on years ago and then off for a long time and then obviously on again. So I feel like that on and off cycle would be tricky. So I just hope their hearts are okay.
I love, but for some reason I have not been rooting for them from the beginning. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I love Jennifer Garner so much that like anyone he was with felt like a betrayal. So anyways, but you know what? I want good things for both of them, and I love the memes and TikToks of Ben looking like he just hates his life, like looking so like, so
he's like opening a door. He's like, because I have to, I'll get in trouble if I don't, or something.
He was like, anyways. And then in movie news, pop culture, Gladiator 2 comes out next month. Well, okay, yeah. Gladiator 2 comes out in November. I don't know where in the time space continuum we'll actually be releasing these. But Gladiator 2 comes out. I feel like it's probably one of the most anticipated movies of 2024. And
because I feel like the first Gladiator is so beloved by so many people, and it's been a lot of years. So that's why I feel like
20 years, I think.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
So I want it to be great. I know sequels generally have a harder time, but I it's the same director, and I love Paul Mescal who's in it. He was in oh my gosh, is it Normal People or Ordinary People? Those are both things, but anyways, the one show on HBO that I really liked. So I want good things for it. And the directors now said I actually have plans for a third already.
Whoa.
Which makes me actually a little
Bold
nervous.
statement.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, we don't
Like,
need everything.
Take a great thing and let it be great, and then let it be great.
I know, but this also is like the movie mania of remakes lately. Like they're redoing Beetlejuice, and maybe because Maverick was so successful, I feel like Hollywood is getting the bug of wanting to remake.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like, yeah, that's true. Top Gun Maverick, and now that you say it, Twisters, did like renew my faith in a second of something, you know, like, oh, because I loved both those movies. And so,
yeah. So we're crossing our fingers that it's great. Also, Deadpool Wolverine comes out on streaming on October 1st. So that's big news for us, Car. We're going to record it that night.
Super big news.
Reaction. I'm so excited. She's so excited, guys.
I'm just nervous.
I know. But it's going to be
people
fun.
have loved this one. So
let's
see how it goes.
Yep. Okay, moving on to Obsessing.
Oh, is for the way. Just kidding. Okay. Obsessing.
The thing she does, guys. Get used to it.
Spoiler alert. White collar. And when I say obsessing, like I have been binging this show, I think, like more than I've ever binged a show. Like my life, I'm like, I have a lot of great things in my life that I really look forward to, but I'm like, when can I get home so I can watch just an episode of White Collar? I'm like, I just like my nighttime routine. It's like my morning routine. And like, I just need to watch an episode of White Collar. And I am on the last episode of the 6th season of the last season. And I'm like so scared for it to be done. But it's
feel that
honestly probably
bones.
good because I need to get my life back. But
so
I've been totally obsessed.
What is it about White Collar that you're like? I liked it and I binged it, but then like by season 3, I think I like moved on to something else. And I mean, it's been a long time, but what is it that you love about it so much?
Neil Caffrey, mostly.
Yeah.
But also it's
Balmer.
like it's like Suits meets Oceans, and I love Suits and I love Oceans, so I feel like I get the suspense. And like I was telling a coworker, I'm like, you should start watching it, but then I was like, actually, you're probably gonna want to become a con artist, so maybe not.
Well, and it is like you're rooting for the con artist, and he like is so beautiful,
but he's like
so
a good one. He's like a good con artist.
Yeah, it's like stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, Robin Hood kind of.
Yes,
right,
or
like,
Robin Hoodie, which if you kept watching, you would know that was a suspect. So. Anyways, I've been obsessed, and
and it's got Peyton from One Tree Hill, so that's fun.
So many good things. Okay, Cass, you're up.
I am just super basic, and I am just obsessing over fall things right now. I like love the change of seasons, and it's such a delight in my day to just like light my fall candle and restyle my little fall stems and put a little pumpkin in a nicely placed area. Just getting joy from the changing of seasons and the temperature drop. And, you know, I just want to like do all the pumpkin patches and all the soups. So I'm just like, literally, if you type in YouTube, like fall ambiance videos, it's an actual thing. And there's just like a pumpkin patch with a barn and like sounds, and I don't know. It's just so basic, but you know who I am. So
yeah. Hey, we love that for you. Okay.
Yeah.
We as in the whole popcorn in bed, popcorn after bed community. We love that for you. It's funny. I'm like, I don't even know if I've like registered it. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, actually, well, I came home last night and there was Halloween decorations and I was like, oh, I'm not ready.
Oh yeah. I can't do that yet.
No.
But I also will be obsessed with Halloween when I feel it a
it's part of the
seasonal
fall.
Appropriate time to go to full on Halloween.
Yes. You do Halloween well. Yeah, you do it really well. I'm not as big into Halloween. So, okay. Recommending. Everyone, you guessed it. What am I recommending you should do? Go watch White Collar. I'm not even mad about repeating myself. Okay, everyone, if you watched it 20 years ago when it came out, go rewatch it. If you haven't seen it, honestly, it still holds up. It's fantastic. So go watch some White Collar.
And I mean,
don't become a con artist, but just like enjoy it, you know?
I want to know, even like when it did come out, was it successful? Was it critically acclaimed?
Well, like that's
Do you know
like
this?
Suits. Suits, I mean, it wasn't as old as White Collar, but I feel like recently in the last like year or two, it got this huge revamp and like
it was like number one
I have
on
so
Netflix
many
or
friends,
something.
watching it, and they made a joke about it at one of the awards show. Like they had the Suits cast come out, and they're like, "Well, now that our show is finally getting what it deserves," but I still felt like it was big when it came out. At least like that's when I watched it. So yeah,
Well,
I'm curious. I don't
and I know it was back in the day when people watched a lot more network television. So like there weren't streaming services. And so I feel like network television back then was better because more people. Do you know what? I feel like the shows now on like Fox and CBS can sometimes be kind of like, I don't know, in the box, but they had to, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
We just have so much now.
And so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like we have so much that it is a little less quality sometimes. So anyways, a topic for another day.
There's definitely, I feel like there's a wider sea with a lot of crap, but there's some like really good ones where I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, like another episode. Another day, another episode. I am recommending, get ready, Star Trek.
Whoa.
Guys, I just finished on the channel season 7 of The Next Generation. And I am not spin zoning you. I genuinely love it. I never, ever would have thought. People have been asking me to watch Star Trek, and I literally was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like putting it off because it just seemed so boring, honestly. Like, but I've fallen in love with the characters, and like I've fallen in love with all of them. And this is for all the girlfriends and all the girls. Give it a shot. And this is going to be a podcast secret. I'm not going to say this on the YouTube channel, but I like Star Trek more than Star Wars. I said it. I meant it. I'm a Trekkie.
Wow.
I'm a Trekkie. I'm literally going to a Carly.
What?
I did it backwards and I did it. I haven't been able to do this for 7
like
seasons.
Just like this?
Why
but
can't
you
I do
turn
it
your
this
hand
way?
and you can't?
This is such a moment. I feel like I came out of my Star Trek closet and like it's letting me do it.
Okay, I do feel like you like graduated something. I don't know, from us always growing up only watching chick flicks and like our dad watching Star Trek and being like, okay. And now you saying that you love Star Trek, recommending it?
I'm literally going to a convention next weekend. Like because I feel like I need to meet these people because they're my friends. Like, you know, I think we watch TV a little bit different than some people. Those white collar people are your friends right now. And
so true.
Mine is the crew of the U.S. Enterprise. It's okay. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last but not least, treated.
Treating. So this can be like an actual treat or something you're treating yourself to, something that is just a little delight. You go first.
Okay, it's funny. At first, I like automatically went to like food treat, but it's funny. I tried to treat myself to a pinky ring. I've been wanting like a pinky ring for so long, and I tried to treat myself, and the first one came, and it was like the prongs didn't work, and it was snagging on my clothes, and I hated it. So I like treated myself again and got a different one, and it still snags on everything, and I'm like, dang it. So that was my fail at treating myself. I don't ever wear it because it snags on things, but today I did put it on just because of this episode and the treated thing. So that's my fail. So then and then I'm not really treating myself with anything else recently. So what I have been loving though is just like chocolate. So basic, but just like, I don't know, this past week or two, I just feel like every day I'm like, oh, I just need something like rich and chocolatey. I had some Canadian chocolate bars from last time Mom and Dad came down. And yeah, the other day I was watching White Collar, eating a O. Henry, a Mars bar the next day. I just like
Smarties,
chocolate.
perhaps, you know?
No,
Just-
definitely not. But chocolate outside of Smarties. Sorry, Smarties, but not my chocolate.
I think they're so underrated. Smarties are Canadians' version of M&Ms. Kind of. Okay. My treat is my
A
mom
new
and
fall
I.
candle?
Well, yes, but we went to a place here locally that is like a foot reflexology massage, and they like do your head and your ears and your arms. And this was like my birthday present to her. It's a little early, but it was just like the most relaxing hour I've had in like months. So that was really wonderful. And I'm like, I got to do this more. It felt like, you know, as a mom of young kids, it's just, I'm not saying this just for me, but every mom should just be able to just have an hour sometimes, just of just having to think about absolutely zero things.
Yeah, just treat yourself.
Yep. Treat yourself.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, that's our report.
Oh, again, I want to sing the respect song. I still can't get it. Sorry, guys. You're missing out.
We'll have to think of another catchy song if we make this a regular thing. You know?
Yeah. There we go.
AI will
All
do
right.
it. Chad will do it for us.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for joining for our report. And we hope you come back. Episode 4 coming out soon. And thanks for being here.
Tell us in the comments your report. Tell us one of them at least. Like, what are you eating, treating, reading? I love, like I said in that comment section on Patreon, I'm going to make a little thing, but hearing what everyone is watching and loving.
And our podcast Patreon as well. Like that's where we're a little bit more active. And so, we want to hear your reports there as well. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, we'll put a comment section up for that.
Okay. I'm especially curious about like the recommending and the treats. I'm like, oh, what do I need to be reminded about? You know, like what else should I be watching? So exciting times. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining.
Okay. See ya.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed listening, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave that beloved 5-star review.
And come join our Patreon for bonus content and to be part of the popcorn community.